hero incarnate, he who houses the spirit of the hero and carries the destiny bound to Hyrule and many other places that it will be he who saves the land. Sounds all well and dandy, right? Bad things happen and Link is always there to save the day. Well, most of the time. Link is regarded as one of the greatest and most courageous video game heroes of all time. However, there is something severely dark about his predicament that may have you looking at the hero in a totally different light. Hey guys, it's HMK. Let's talk about Link and his status of hero. In every Legend of Zelda game, we take on the role of Link and, in extension, the role of the hero. There's always a problem that's presented to us and Link that first sets him off on his adventure, which quickly turns into a quest in which the fate of Hyrule and the world hangs in the balance. Of course, as gamers, we take up this challenge to save the land and take up the mantle of the hero. But looking at why and how Link is put into these predicaments time and time again doesn't seem too wholesome. What if Link doesn't want to be the hero? Why does he have to deal with all of Hyrule's problems? If you play the games, then you know that Link goes through horrific and traumatizing experiences in order to rise to the role of hero. He's lost loved ones, seen those he's cherished taken away from him, and has been put through trying events that will leave physical and emotional scars on many. These events are what test Link and his courage to push him out of his own life and eventually meet his destiny as the hero. Some might say that these are just terrible coincidences, but it's actually much more than that. The theory, or I should say fact, is that Link is a pawn of the gods that will always be burdened with the role of the hero and will always act in their stead to smite evil on their behalf. Hearing something like this is a little much, you would think, right? Well, it is revealed in Skyward Sword that the gods themselves turn the wheels of destiny so that tragic events always trigger Link to follow the path of hero in order to face incoming evil. Zelda, the reincarnation of the goddess Hylia, specifically states that she knew she would throw herself in harm's way as Zelda in order to start the journey that will eventually have Link's spirit tempered so he may wield the Master Sword and the Triforce in order to eradicate demise. This is the curse of the hero that she and the gods have placed on Link. No, I'm not talking about the curse of demise. That whole ordeal has Link trapped in the role that the gods have stamped on him. The Curse of Demise states that an incarnation of his hatred will forever follow those who have the blood of the goddess and the spirit of the hero for all eternity to carry out his will. That's all well and good. Well, no, that's actually pretty bad. The reason why Demise and in extension Ganon and Ganondorf is bound to Link and Zelda is because of the tempering of the spirit Link had to take part in order to stand against Demise. So what would be worse in your opinion? The Curse of Demise or the Curse of the Hero? Link's role as the hero that the gods have chosen him for has probably haunted him, his predecessors, and his successors for centuries. Link is boxed into this role, never given a choice to be something else or to live his life without any type of intervention from the higher forces. Nintendo has pointed out many times that Link is supposedly a blank slate for us to project our own experiences, our quest for justice through his eyes and through his being. We never see Link's true interaction with others because we're supposed to have our own personalities imbued in him. In a sense, are we the gods? The puppeteers that string Link along his destiny without giving a moment's notice of what he could want or even what he's thinking? Or are we worse? Many will argue that in gaming, of course we have to take control of the heroes and guide them into glorious victory and save the land. While that is indeed true, most heroes in these narratives of good versus evil have established personalities, traits, wants, needs. Sure, we help them conquer evil, but the reasons for these heroes have been voiced and their quests are as clear as day. While Link, he is voiceless, and the predicaments he's thrown in leaves him with no choice but to start the path of hero. It's this context that other heroes in gaming and in all narratives have that sets them apart from Link, which in turn makes Link's case so tragic. Without any type of voice or coherent sense of personal direction, Link is forced to take up this mantle that the gods have so selfishly and cruelly placed on him. Link is always being told what to do, where to go, how to do this, why he must do that. A lot of people would argue that Link is happy doing things like this, but we don't know. Link's voice can't be heard. The only times we actually see him display some type of legitimate emotion is when a situation concerns something personal, mostly pertaining to someone close to him, as human beings are systematically hardwired to act on. Yet, when it's something that concerns the fate of the world, Link's actions can be looked at as blank or signaling a sense of duty to his destiny that he's boxed into. The hero's curse not only affects Link during his lifetime, but also in his afterlife. In a time that they actually gave Link a voice. His words spoke truth of the cruelty that the gods and creators have bestowed upon him. The hero shade, the ghastly spirit of the hero of time that is filled with regret in Twilight Princess that resides in the child timeline. In the child timeline, the hero of time saves Hyrule from the tyranny of Ganondorf, but is sent back to the past to relive his lost childhood by Zelda. Once sent back, he warns the royal family of Ganondorf's plan, therefore preventing the events in Ocarina of Time. Afterwards, he embarks on his quest in Majora's Mask, and sometime after that, he passes on. But with the knowledge that he had of his heroism that never came to be in the future, his spirit is filled with regret and lingers in the world until it's time to teach his skills to his descendant in Twilight Princess. So his role as the hero of time meant more than any of us initially perceived. His spirit was restless for decades until it was time to pass the torch onto another poor soul. When looking at this on the surface level, it may seem pretty tame. However, how about we go a bit deeper? In Ocarina of Time, Link lost his parents before he had the chance to know them. The only parental figure he had died before his eyes. He is thrown into a perilous quest in which he's forced to grow up early and brave dungeons and fight monsters in order to save a land that has brought him nothing but ache. He succeeds in his role as the hero, but due to him being sent back to the past, his deeds are never logged in the annals of history. So in a sick twist of fate, Link has the role of the hero thrust upon him, but he can't even claim that mantle. Along with that, the design of the gods has it so that his spirit lingers in the world until it's time for the next puppet to earn his strings. Another piece to this dastardly puzzle is this: the Master Sword, the blade of evil's bane. The weapon that is usually the only thing capable of smiting the evil that stands against you has only been marked to be wielded by Link. In Skyward Sword, when Zelda gives the sword her final blessing, it states that only Link may wield it, tying the weapon's fate to the wielder. So not only is Link branded as the hero for all time, but if he somehow manages to free himself from this curse, the Master Sword cannot be wielded by any other, and so have it, the fate once again falls down on Link. So Link is trapped in the role of hero, unable to claim his status of savior, and is unable to be put to rest for decades. Still think that Link isn't a pawn in the grand scheme of things? The only time in which Link seemingly already starts out as the hero is in the first Legend of Zelda game, in which he mysteriously appeared from literally nowhere to save the Princess Zelda from Ganon. Despite that one outing, it's highly evident that in all other instances, Link is a pawn. He is a pawn of the gods, and he is our pawn as well. Further proof of his status of puppet hero comes from the events leading up to the Wind Waker. Link works on the gods' behalf. The gods themselves can't, or rather won't, interfere directly with the problems of the world, no matter how terrible they may be. The people depend on Link to save them, and when Link is not there to repel an enraged and returning Ganondorf, the people had to pray to the goddesses while Ganondorf wiped them out in numbers, including the sages that are responsible for keeping the Master Sword's power in check. It's only after massive prayers are sent to the gods that they actually act, and they act in the most radical way possible, flooding the entire great land of Hyrule in an attempt to stop Ganondorf, an attempt that ultimately failed, until another Link showed up and went through his own traumatizing ordeal and put Ganondorf in his place. So, let's go over the curse of the hero and its formula. An evil arises, or is in the midst of plotting. Link carries on his regular life until a traumatizing experience sets him on the path of hero. The event that sets him off on his journey then intertwines with his true destiny of being a hero that must save the land. Link then goes through a perilous quest in order to stop the evil. Though you would think that everything ends up good as we players strive to see the end credit scene, but thanks to the timeline split and the downfall timeline, we now know that there is a possibility of Link failing and that his victory isn't even ensured by the higher powers that put him in this mess. So not only we have Link forever stuck in the role of hero, but there is also no guarantee that he'll even succeed in the task he is given. I guess it's up to us to make sure the puppet achieves his purpose. Even still, time dictates otherwise. It's not entirely sure why this design was put in place. Is it to torture the masses and remind the people who is in charge? Is it a spectacle for the gods to watch? Is it so that the Triforce can keep the balance of good and evil at an even level in playing field? This all beckons at the question in video games and in life. Are we truly in control of the roles we decide to take, or are our destinies decided long before our existences are even a thought? What we see with the cause of Link, he was born a pawn, chosen to be a pawn, and his descendants and successors incarnate are doomed to this role. With all that being said, would you think twice about your hero, Link, what he may want, what he could be if he was never cursed to this role? Link could have been a blacksmith, a ranch hand, a messenger, a knight, a map maker. But what he'll always be is a hero. And perhaps that since he resigns to this fate, makes him the greatest hero of all.